Hello everyone and welcome to the Bobby Brown and Stephen Plofker Gym, where we have a matchup here today between the Wheaton Lions and your Emerson Lions. I'm Joe Dubois, joined today by Nick Gemma. Nick, what players are we looking to perform here at the highest level on either side?
Well, on Wheaton, they've got a couple guys who can take this game over and get them their first conference win. Starting off with number 13, Alex Dubrow, who's 14.1 points per game is second in the team, but who also leads the NUMAC in assists with 6.4 and is third in steals with 2.0. And he's going to be feeding Robbie Lowy and Aaron Williams. Williams starts the game on the bench, but he leads his team with 16.8 points per game. And Lowy averaging 13.1 a game, but also with 7.4 boards per game, which leads his team. While on the Emerson side, it's going to be through the senior, number 4, Jack O'Connor out of Newport, Rhode Island, 17.8 points per game. That leads the team. 3 assists per game. That leads the team. 8.3 rebounds per game is 5th in the entire conference for the senior out of Newport. And he'll be joined by Nate Martin, number 5, 13.9 points per game, has him second on the team, and number 23, Jared Houston, whose 65% field goal percentage is second in the NUMAC, and who leads the NUMAC in blocks per game and is the runner-up in rebounds per game at this moment. It's going to be through those guys that this game is won and lost. It's going to be an interesting game to see who takes this one out.
Yeah, Nick, we were talking about it before the game. Not a lot of height on that Wheaton side. Actually one 6'6" player, that's Robbie Lowy, and a couple of 6'5" guys, but Houston has a significant height advantage down there. We'll see if the Lions feed him. The Emerson Lions, that is, Nick, as it is a Lions versus Lions matchup here today.
We'll see if there's a little bit of rivalry with that same name shared. Wheaton spelling it with that Y instead of the I. Small difference there, but that should make for a fantastic game.
Absolutely. Emerson coming in 10-6, 3-2 in the NUMAC. Wheaton 5-10, still winless in the conference, so 0-5 coming in. They'll be looking for their first conference win today as the tip-off goes to the Emerson Lions. Trevor McLean running the show at point. McLean to Houston up top. Houston facing up, seeing what he's got. Hand off to Martin. Martin from the free throw line puts it up. No good. Rebound to the Wheaton Lions. They'll push it up the floor. That's Alex Carlisle with it. Martin on him. Over to Dubrow. He'll run the show. Back to Carlisle now. Looking for something down low. Now Dubrow gets at the three-point line. He'll get a screen. Goes to his left. Back to Carlisle. Two-man game here for the Wheaton Lions. Dubrow again. Good cut there, finding Ricardo Ripley. Good pump fake. Kick out to Robbie Lowy from deep, and it's good. Great ball movement there. Great patience on Wheaton's first possession.
Absolutely. They used that entire shot clock, and every pass had a purpose. And it ended up with an open look that Houston had to close out.
McLean to Martin. Martin looking down low for Houston. Can't get it to him. Now Houston reposting. Gets it now. Couple of guys there, still a significant height advantage. Good kick out to McLean for a wide open 3, and he hits it. All tied up right away.
There it is. That's going to go open up through Houston. He can't be selfish in the post, but he's going to get the ball all day, especially if they're trying to put Sochashevsky on him, the 6'4" freshman out of Westmount, Queens Council.
Carlisle to Ripley. Ripley back to Carlisle. Good defense in the passing lane there from Martin to tip it out. Wheaton inbound on the side here. Ripley will run over to take it. 15 on the shot clock for the Wheaton Lions. Ripley to Carlisle. Now Dubrow has it. Back to Carlisle as the shot clock's running down. Carlisle to the hoop with the left hand and a nice finish to give Wheaton the lead.
Good use of his body, keeping himself in between that basket, not giving the defender any chance to stop that left-handed layup. But we got an easy 3 here.
And Waterhouse doesn't miss too many of those, but Wheaton catches a break. Now they're running the other way. Ripley has it. Now he'll slow it down. Over to Dubrow. Now to Carlisle. Posting up is Lowy. They'll get it to him. Good defense by Houston. Oh no, referee will call a foul. Houston thought it was all ball, but Lowy will get to the line for 2.
He was over the top, but it looked to me like he had a hand square on that ball and nothing else. Unlucky for him, as we're going to have some free throws now.
And there you see, you guys make the call at home. You see Houston's reaction right there, but Lowy will get 2 free throws. We'll see if he can extend this Wheaton lead. First one, unlucky roll, gets out as Ben Holding will check into the game early on for Houston. Houston picking up a quick foul. They might want to keep him on the bench and not risk him picking up his second, as Lowy gets his second free throw here, and that one goes down 6-3, the Wheaton lead now, just about 2 minutes in. McLean running the show to Waterhouse. Waterhouse puts it on the floor, up top to Holding. Holding fakes it, puts it back on the floor. Waterhouse to McLean. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Over to Martin. Martin driving baseline, well defended by Carlisle. It's a holding up top. Holding finds Waterhouse. Not a lot of spacing here. Waterhouse, a tough 2, but he gets it to go anyways.
That's the class. That is the new MAC Freshman of the Year showing what he's got. Zach Waterhouse with a tough bucket.
Yeah, that's a big one there for the Lions to get it back within 1 as McLean playing tough defense all the way up the court on Dubrow. Dubrow patient though, the senior, the leader of this team. Over to Lowy. Lowy from 3 again. This one's short, but a good fight from the Wheaton Lions. They get another chance. Carlisle from deep now, and that one goes down.
That's good, aggressive offensive rebounding. Just snuck in there and took that one away. Ricardo Ripley Jr. had a Sharon Mask, get him an extra possession and an extra bucket.
O'Connor guarded by Lowy, back out to McLean. Over to Martin. Martin to Waterhouse. Back to Martin now. Holding posting up down low. They can't get it to him. Now Martin gets it to Holding at the elbow. The jumper is short. Ripley with another rebound.
Tough defense there by Sochashevsky. Good work to keep Holding away from getting an easy shot.
Now Ripley puts it on the floor. He's got a lane to the hoop. A nice pass, but O'Connor closes the lane at the last second. O'Connor up the floor to Martin. Martin to his left. Now back to Waterhouse in the corner up top to McLean. O'Connor trying to put a move on Sochashevsky here. Pulls up, and a good shot, and he can do that all day long, Nick.
Absolutely. You got to see the ball in his hands. He can create stuff. He can create buckets for himself and for other players. Jack O'Connor should be running this show.
Carlisle using the screen over to his right, over to Ripley. Ripley finds Lowy. Lowy gets a screen. And picks up the dribble. He's in trouble here. Good defense by O'Connor. Gets it to Ripley. Ripley to Dubrow. Dubrow thought about it from way out there. Shot clock running low now. Gets a screen from Lowy. Well defended by McLean the whole time, but that fake gets Dubrow a little bit of space, but then he'll walk at the last second. Emerson ball.
Shuffled his feet. Good defense there by Trevor McLean, the Boston native, coming out doing great work to keep this a one-score game.
Now Emerson will look to tie it back up here as McLean brings it up. Gets it to O'Connor. O'Connor to Waterhouse. Back to O'Connor in the flare screen. That's McLean in the corner. Look at the screen from Holding. Goes baseline. Pulls it back out. Shot clock at 10. McLean to Holding. Waterhouse posting up, but that will go out of bounds. Remain Emerson possession. 7 on the shot clock. There's a couple of subs for Wheaton come in, namely Aaron Williams, the leading scorer for this team, as you mentioned earlier, Nick.
And with that, you see Houston check back in as well for Holding. They must have sat him because they knew they had a better matchup with Houston up against Williams than with Holding.
Yeah, interesting to see those 2 quick subs for Emerson, but like you said, it's probably all about Williams. Waterhouse down low to Houston. He'll go to work right away on Williams. Kick it back out to Waterhouse. Shot clock running low. Waterhouse puts it up. No good. They will say shot clock ran out beforehand anyways.
You saw it on that possession, though, on the inside. Williams, a little bit shorter than Houston, but he's got that body and that mass, that strength. That's just going to make it difficult for Houston to get those easy looks and post up the way he wants to.
And Williams inbounding, gets it to Dubrow, over to Carlisle now. Martin defending him. He'll tip it away, but they'll call him for a reach. As now another sub for the Lions comes in. That's James Beckwith. And he'll grab Martin.
Beckwith has had a very impressive freshman campaign. He has come off the bench and averaged 9 points a game on the 4th highest three-point shooting in the new MAC at 45%. So he could make a big splash off the bench.
Absolutely, he can hit it from anywhere. Look at it to Carlisle, who Beckwith is defending, and a couple of steps there. Back to the Lions now. Beckwith the other day hitting, I think, 4 3-pointers against Springfield a week ago here on this court. The last win Emerson had here, unfortunately, their last game here against WPI, they lost 87-64, so they'll look to get back in the right column today as O'Connor pulls up and knots it back up at 9.
Class. It's pure class from number 4.
Carlisle bringing it up now. Beckwith right there. Good hedge by Houston. Now he gets back. Dubrow getting a screen from Williams. Over to Lowy. Lowy to Evan Cook, who just checked into the game as well. Down low to Lowy, and that's a good play, but Lowy with steps on the jump stop there. Back to the Lions. Now McLean getting a play from Coach Curley.
Head Coach Walmsley not excited with that call, but it's going the other way, and Emerson got a chance to take their first lead.
Houston with it at the high post. Over to Waterhouse. Gets a screen. Little room. He'll fake it over to O'Connor. McLean from deep. Fakes it. Deep two. It's blocked by Dubrow.
McLean's looking for a foul. After that fake shot, he got held on the arm, but nothing calling, and that's a bit even both ways.
Pass goes over the head of Carlisle. Ends up at Dubrow. Dubrow with the screen from Williams. A little bit of room all the way to the cup, and he'll be fouled on the way. They'll call it on Houston, it looks like. If so, that would be his second. And it is, in fact, on Houston. Not what the Lions want there.
No, they do not have the greatest matchup for Williams if Houston's got to come out of this game.
First free throw is good as Wheaton retakes the lead. And looking at Dubrow's stats coming into the game, Nick, probably the most impressive thing, as you said, he's coming in averaging 6.4 assists, but that's with only 2.2 turnovers. So he's third on the team in turnovers per game, while an overwhelming first in assists. So very effective at running the show, and as you can tell, very effective at the line too, going 2 for 2 there.
He's a smart ball handler. He's not going to put himself in situations where the ball can get stripped away or taken away too easily. If you're going to get it off of him, you're going to need to get it through a steal or through something fancy.
And Emerson going pretty small here as the turnover there, looking down low for the freshman Steve Fabrizio, but instead it will be a turnover going back to the Wheaton Lions. Defending Carlisle now is another freshman, Ben Allen, in his first action of the day as Williams gets it up top from deep. No good. Robbie Lowy fighting hard down low for the rebound. Gets it, but good defense there by Fabrizio. Lowy gets it again. Kick it out, and a nice pass to Carlisle. A nice fake. Tipped at the last second. It will remain Wheaton ball, though. Hectic possession there.
Yeah, I mean, that is how you box out. That was textbook on from the low post and on those offensive rebounds. You're going to see the foot go across the arm. Missed call there. That was definitely a foul, and Emerson are going to get away with it, but they do foul here.
And Williams will get to the line for 2. We'll see if he can hit a couple from the line here, get his first points of the day.
Emerson foul on Jack O'Connor. First team fourth.
Williams shooting 68.8% from the line on the year. Wheaton as a whole a pretty strong free throw shooting team, 71%. Not bad for a college team there. Williams falls on the first one. Coach Brian Walmsley getting an explanation from the referee here. Williams' second free throw, good as well. 13-9, Wheaton ahead with 13.5 to go in this first half.
The Lions are going to isolate here. Oh, it looks like they're running a play now. Out and running, surprisingly.
And Waterhouse gets that lucky roll down, 13-11 now. That's a good shot. Waterhouse too much space from the free throw line there.
A little bit of speed and a little bit of class from a lot of these Emerson scorers to keep this Wheaton team on the back foot.
Carlisle gets a step and then good ball move and find Williams. Good tip at the last second by O'Connor. That'll end up all the way down on the other end. 17 still on the shot clock though for the Wheaton Lions.
Pure athleticism. One of the best closeouts I've seen all season, and one of the most emphatic blocks as well on a player with some inches and some mass on him.
And there goes Cook on the other end. Kick out to Lowy, Lowy to Carlisle. Wheaton moving quick. And a travel call there, so another turnover for the Wheaton Lions. Back to Emerson.
He slid. He had to take a couple of chop steps after he tried to stop his momentum, as you're going to check that replay here on this O'Connor block. Close out and demolishes that shot from Williams.
Waterhouse to the rack, pulls up, no good. Cook with the rebound. Now he's pushing it the other way, finds Williams up the floor. Through the contact, shot's no good. Healy to Beckwith. Now Emerson right back the other way. Beckwith crossing over to the middle of the court to Healy for 3. And that's good. You cannot leave Jack Healy open from deep.
That's Emerson basketball. That is what they did last year to get themselves into the conference finals, and that's what they can do if they want to succeed this year. Play with that high energy.
Absolutely. You see it here. Beckwith playing Dubrow the whole length of the court. Dubrow gets him, though, from deep. No good. Healy with the rebound to O'Connor. Now O'Connor running the floor. Over to Healy. They're looking for him again. Another 3. This one's short. Williams with the board. Williams to Dubrow. Dubrow to Lowy. Lloyd back out to Williams from deep. And they will call a travel before, so another turnover for the Wheaton Lions. Now Nate Martin back into the game for Zach Waterhouse. And Nick, we've got an interesting lineup out here for the Lions. Not a ton of guys who have typically played together in these games. Why do you think that is so early in this matchup?
I think Coach Curley noticed that the team needed a spark, and these young guys off the bench are not afraid to go up and take their shots, and a guy like Jack Healy as well, not scared, and that's what they needed, and that's what's got them in the lead right now.
Absolutely, as Beckwith goes right to the hoop, and there you see, he's looking for that opportunity. He takes it there, gets two, 16-13, Emerson extending on that lead.
This is the second year in a row the Lions have had a strong freshman class that is not afraid to do what they know how to do.
Aaron Williams with it posted up down low. O'Connor goes for the steal, gives Williams a step, and he'll put it in. O'Connor now bringing it up the other way, defended by Lowy. Gets a screen from Fabrizio over to Martin in the corner. Martin with a tissue in his nose. Not sure if he had a nosebleed at some point, as that will get out of bounds, remain Emerson possession.
Martin has been quiet, 0 for 1 from the field. He's played the entire game, but he has only taken one shot and he missed it.
That was more Kenley Lima who had the nice tip there on the baseline. And there you see Beckwith again with a nice bucket. 18-15 Emerson. Everyone getting in on the action for the Lions. Dubrow patient as always. Gets a step to the left. Over to Cook. Williams looking for it down low, and Cook will throw it away. McLean will check in as well as Max Davis, but there's a timeout on the floor. Emerson up 18-15 with 10:46 to go in this first half. And Nick, I gotta say the difference in this one so far seems to be the turnovers. 7 for Wheaton, only 2 for the Lions.
It is, and a bit unlucky on a couple of those travel calls and a couple of missed fouls under in the low post, but Wheaton giving the ball away too easy, and Emerson with those couple extra possessions, 8 of 14 from the floor, shooting 57%, has got them on 18 points.
And you see there, it's just Emerson causing problems defensively as O'Connor getting in the lane there, sending that shot from Williams away. Emerson's defense really been the difference here, I think more so than Wheaton just turning it over, Nick, if that makes sense. I think Emerson's the one causing these issues. Wheaton's not just doing it to themselves. Absolutely,
and they've struggled a bit defensively. They allow 78 points per game, which is 5th in the NEWMAC, but out of an 8-team conference, not even in that top half. And they average 6 steals, 2 blocks, and about 37 rebounds in a game. And that's just been the difference. Their defense has got to step up. They're scoring. They average 82, but they got to keep the other teams from keeping that pace with them.
And one scary stat looking at it now, and it's largely due to that turnover discrepancy that we're talking about. Wheaton 10 rebounds to only 2 rebounds for the Lions, Nick. And a lot of the times you look at these close games, the difference in the end goes to whoever wins that rebounding battle. So it'll definitely be key for the Lions to at least tighten that gap a little as the game goes on.
Absolutely, and with Lowy and Williams in the low post, it is not going to be easy, but you got to get down there, you got to fight, you got to box out, and you got to pick up those boards.
But Emerson's got a little bit more size back out there as Ben Holding's back into the game. You got O'Connor, Davis, Holding, Beckwith, and Martin in there for the Emerson Lions. O'Connor calling for a screen from Holding. He'll use it over to his right. Kick over to Davis. Davis from deep. High arcing shot is short. Williams tips the rebound. Holding ends up with it, and there'll be a foul called on Williams in the fight for the rebound.
Calling a push on him. We'll see if he can stay in this game. That is his first foul, and his team's first as well.
Referees will confer now. Will be Emerson ball under the basket. And they decide everything's all good. They will reset the shot clock to 20 as O'Connor will inbound for the Emerson Lions. Gets it into Holding. A couple of screens for Beckwith. He'll get it, not a whole lot of room though. And then a foul hand check on Cook as the Lions will get it again underneath the basket.
Tough defense from Cook there. A little bit of a push-off, but fighting through that screen and knowing Beckwith is a fantastic shooter from behind the arc, so just staying right with him.
And Nick, I saw Cook play a couple of times in high school. I went to high school a few towns over from me, and I can tell you he is a dog out there. You saw it on that possession with that tough defense. Beckwith gets the ball now over to O'Connor. O'Connor gets a screen from Holding. Pull back. Holding's got it wide open. But Cook comes over, tips it away, Holding again, gets the contact. He'll go up, get 2 free throws, and that's the second foul on Williams as well.
Tough break for Williams as he may have to check out of this game, which could mean guys like Ben Holding and Jared Houston in that low post can have a little bit more free range.
And there you see right in the background of that shot, Max Sashin, senior on the team last year, in attendance for today's game, as Holding is good on his first free throw.
Hard to miss. Big ol' Sashin over there.
Very hard to miss. So there you see the play again, Holding with a good hustle, getting Williams up in the air and going through it. Not hitting the shot, but the 2 free throws is big, as well as getting that second foul on Williams. Holding now with the second free throw. 2 for 2. 20-15, the lead for the Emerson Lions. Cook setting it up now for Wheaton. Carlisle has it. Well defended by the Lions. They recovered on that pick and roll there. Cook, a lot of contact there. Cook pulls up from deep, and it's good.
Oh, that's a big shot from deep for Evan Cook.
We're right back the other way as Emerson. Martin no good on the layup. Now Wheaton pushing right back the other way, looking to tie this up or even take the lead. Cook over to Lowy. Lowy to Carlisle. Now Lima has it. Good cut by Carlisle. He'll find it. Good pass to Lowy. And well defended by Holding there to tip it away. He gets it up to Beckwith, ahead of the pack, and he'll finish. And that's a big bucket for the Emerson Lions.
And a great defensive possession, which is what I'm looking at right now. You got to shore up defensively, and guys like that running around, and they're using a lot of contact, which may get called as we get further into this game.
Yeah, Davis playing strong defense on Cook all the way up the court. As now Patrick Ode has it for the Wheaton Lions. Over to Lima. Ode sets a screen for him. Lima to the rack, plenty of space, and he'll finish on that one. Seems like Holding and Martin were just waiting for the other to step in on that possession.
Yeah, and Martin needs a sub as that ball flies away from Holding. Martin could really use a sub. He's dogging out there. And they could bring in a guy like Waterhouse right now, or even McLean back into this one to give him a break.
And there's a foul on Holding, so they'll send Fabrizio back out there to get him. Houston with 2, Holding with 1, so they got to be careful here over the rest of this first half to keep each of them out of foul trouble. Davis up to defend Cook. Not making anything easy on the freshman. Carlisle gets a screen from Lowy. Over to Ode. Ode to Cook in the corner. Now Lowy has it posting up, defended by Fabrizio. He'll go right over him and get it to go off the glass. Back tied up, 22-22. O'Connor gets it tipped away, ends up with Beckwith though, to Davis. Davis to the bucket, fouled on the way. Emerson possession here.
They're going to call Cook for reaching across, getting aggressive on the defensive end.
And that is the second one on Cook, as O'Connor will inbound for Emerson. So getting into Martin in the corner. Defended by Lima. Martin over to Davis, still plenty of time on the shot clock. Davis to the cup. And a foul will be called on Davis on the way to the hoop.
He extended that arm, and it was right near the face area of his defender, and he's going to get called on that every day.
Now into the game, Ben Allen and Zach Waterhouse, as Davis and O'Connor will head over to the bench. Ode will inbound as Carlisle gets open, and he'll bring it up. Beckwith right there, over to Cook. Waterhouse on him now. Lowy finds Carlisle, now he'll give him a screen. Well defended by Fabrizio there. Cook with it. Cook to his right, defended by Allen. He gets a step in off the glass from Fabrizio. What a block there.
Huge block, and the athleticism from Fabrizio turning into a foul on the other end.
And there's that jolt of momentum that the Lions needed as we see that block again here. Fabrizio come over and saying, no way, off the glass, and Martin pushing it right up the floor, getting fouled. Now he'll get to the line for 2.
6'5" Fabrizio. He's got a bit of height, but he's got a lot of athleticism, and the freshman forward out of Duxbury is going to send shots like that back for the next few years.
Martin's first free throw no good, and Nick, we talked about it, Houston with 2 fouls, holding with 1. That sends Fabrizio out there, and you can tell he's taking advantage of his opportunities here.
Absolutely. You get any minutes, especially as a freshman. You got to take advantage of them and show Coach Curley that you're here to play. Martin knocks down both, and Emerson open up a 2-point lead.
Now Carlisle pushing it. All the way to the hoop. They'll call a foul on the way. They'll get 2 free throws out of it with a chance to tie it back up. Carlisle coming in, averaging 11.7 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 2.2 assists. So a balanced contributor for these Wheaton Lions. Good on the first free throw. See here him getting right to the rack, and Ben Allen there. Unfortunate foul call. Carlisle 2 for 2, and it's back to the tie game. As now Trevor McLean will come in for Nate Martin.
McLean's going to get a chance to run this offense with some guys out there like Waterhouse and Beckwith who can really score, can really put these points up. So this will be a good testament to see how well McLean can run this offense with O'Connor on the bench.
McLean to Fabrizio, he'll face up. Couple of screens, Waterhouse gets it. Good fake. Down low, gets tipped. Now back out to Beckwith from 3. It's good.
It's automatic. It's James Beckwith, and it's automatic.
Give him an inch of space, and he'll hit it, as we saw right there. 9 points on the day now for Beckwith. Now strong defense on the other end. Carlisle gets through it, though, to Lowy. Lowy to Ripley. Now back to Lowy. He thinks about it, puts it on the floor. Ripley with some room over to the left side, and he'll get bumped on the way to the hoop. Here we see that last play again. Ripley to the bucket. Waterhouse just with a hand on the back there at the wrong time. And Ripley gets away with one and gets to the line for 2. Ripley's first shot on the way now. No good. Looks like that was actually a 1-and-1 opportunity maybe.
Yeah, we are in the bonus. Emerson with a few extra fouls. They're at 8 now.
So that foul called on the floor, as now McLean has it at the 3-point line. Over to Waterhouse. Thought about the 3. Gets a screen from Allen. Allen could have had him on the roll, but instead he'll post up. Over to Fabrizio now with Beckwith. Shot clock running down. 6 up there as Allen to the rack. Tough shot, no good. Tipping by Fabrizio off the mark as well, as Carlisle gets it going the other way up to Ripley. Ripley all the way to the hoop, over to the left side, and a smooth finish there.
Smooth from Ricardo Ripley. That's the perfect adjective. 5'10", the junior out of Sharon, Mass, but he can move and he can go up and under.
Waterhouse on the floor, tough contested too, but no hand in his face there as far as Waterhouse was concerned.
Absolutely, it's pure class from Emerson scores. Jack O'Connor, Zach Waterhouse, Nate Martin, James Beckwith, all of them get those buckets through contested shots.
Up top to Lowy, Lowy to Ripley. Ripley's got a little hop in his step now, over to Carlisle. Now Lowy posting up, over to the left side, and a travel will be called as soon as he touched it there.
He was shaking his legs both ways. Took a couple extra steps before he put it on the floor, and he's going to get called every time.
Now a timeout called by the Wheaton Lions. Jack O'Connor had just checked in, as well as Alex Dubrow, so the star players for each team getting back out there probably for the home stretch of this first half. Emerson ahead 29-26 with 5:29 to go.
And despite Wheaton being 0-5 in the NEWMAC Conference, they still have a tough team. They're only averaging losing each game by about 3 or 4 points. And they can throw it up with the best, averaging 44% shooting, almost 8 steals, 38 rebounds, and 2 blocks a game. It's a good Wheaton team as we take another look at this big Fabrizio block. Freshman showing he deserves to be on the floor.
And Ripley Even with Fabrizio out there, just slicing right through the lane and going to the hoop. Fabrizio definitely with the highlight of the game so far, though, with that pin off the glass. He's still out there, definitely earning his stripes today against these Wheaton Lions.
Absolutely, and if Bill Curley's going to have the option to rest his big players and have Houston and Holding fresher for those final minutes, he is absolutely going to take that.
O'Connor with it at the high post over to Waterhouse. Wheaton's been doing a great job all day getting off those screens. No open threes for the Lions. As Waterhouse with a nice backdoor cut, though, and he'll find a little space under the hoop for two.
And a great find from O'Connor. He was only open for about half a second, and O'Connor put it right in his hands.
Waterhouse with 8 points on the day now. Dubrow has it. He'll work on McLean along the sideline. Over to Ripley, now with Carlisle. Lowy posting up on Fabrizio. Double coming, and a foul will be called maybe on Allen there with the reach.
Got caught putting his hands in the cookie jar. Little too excited from Ben Allen. Tried to reach over, but he didn't commit to the ball and just kind of slapped that hand.
Now Lowy will get to the line for two. Lowy the leading scorer for these Wheaton Lions today. 8 points and 3 rebounds for him. 1-on-1 opportunity, hits the first, so he'll get a second. Lowy's second free throw, no good. O'Connor with the rebound. He'll push it himself. Over to Waterhouse. He'll pull up from the free throw line. Gets it to go, and the foul, and Waterhouse is heating up, folks.
And it's pesky. Alex Carlisle, hands in there, 6 foot. He's losing a little bit of height. Waterhouse with those extra inches and that hand in his face, fighting through contact. And when Waterhouse is hot, almost nobody can stop him.
10 points for number 10. And here are points, number 9 and 10 here. Gets it right over Carlisle and gets it to go. Extending the lead now from the line, 34-27. Emerson ahead. Carlisle bringing it up for Wheaton. Sending Ripley through. Gets a screen from Lowy. Over to Ripley. Carlisle on the floor. Back out. Ripley with it now. Shot clock running down. Lowy gets it down low, going to work on O'Connor. Fabrizio comes over to help, and a foul is called. And they'll call that one on Fabrizio.
He was coming over, he was trying to help and stay straight up, but he just bent those arms and got in there when he didn't need to be. Definitely a foul on Fabrizio, but O'Connor was beat to the inside.
Now Lowy back to the line, 4 of 6 from there today. Now 4 of 7 after that miss. He's doing a great job getting there, but I'm sure Wheaton would like a little bit better execution from there. There's the second free throw on the way. Aaron Williams checking in for Lowy. Lowy misses the free throw, though, so he'll stay out there for a little longer. 0 for 2 on that trip, as O'Connor will bring it up now. Waterhouse goes through on the cut. O'Connor to McLean. McLean working from this baseline there, up top to O'Connor. O'Connor from way out there, and it's good. Emerson up by double digits now.
You can't defend that. There is no way to defend that, and if O'Connor's going to hit it, it's going to be a tough night for Wheaton.
Emerson with that full court pressure all game long as Dubrow founds Lowy along the baseline. Well defended again, it appeared, but another foul against the Lions.
This one going on Ben Allen, the freshman out of New Hampshire.
Lowy back to the line again. We'll see if he can do better on this trip than he did last time.
This will be Wheaton's 14th and 15th free throw, which would take them 10 above Emerson, but Emerson shooting 100% from the line, while Wheaton is currently just at 61%.
And here we'll see that deep three from O'Connor once again. Just no hesitation from way out there. Lowy's hand right in his face. None of it matters. See him shaking his head after that one. Lowy's second free throw now in and out as he remains at 50% from the line on the day. O'Connor bringing it up. Down low. And a big play there from Fabrizio. Couldn't get it to go, but he'll get to the line for 2. And
Ripley got up there.
Everyone in this gym just stood up. You see McLean's reaction right there. He can't believe what he just saw.
Ripley, 5'10", going up against Fabrizio, who's 6'5", and is not unathletic. Fabrizio can get up with the best of them. You saw it on that block earlier. Just pure ups from Ricardo Ripley.
And Ripley right now clapping, getting his team's bench into this. He's not mad at all that he got called for a foul on that, as you're saying, Nick. He made that an interesting play, which, looking at that as it was going down, you didn't think that was going to be interesting at all, but Ripley definitely made it a play. Fabrizio had to earn these from the line instead.
And Wheaton got pumped up, and that's going to be a big thing to hopefully shift some momentum towards these Wheaton Lions so they can close that gap.
One of those strange plays where I think each side got their own dose of momentum from it, Nick. So
absolutely.
Each team definitely more fired up now for these last few minutes of this first half. Dubrow going over to the right, now back to the left. Not a lot of space as McLean is right there. Up top to Carlisle, tipped away by Davis. Pesky Emerson defense on this possession. Everyone's up now. Dubrow over to the left, but he'll be bumped on the way by McLean, and he'll get to the line for two. That aggressiveness bit Emerson there.
McLean turned his back. If he stays facing up in that position, he's got every right to the spot, but since he turned around, it just looks like a push, and Dubrow's going to get to the line.
Dubrow good on his first. Still has not hit a field goal, but now 3 of 3 from the line to give him 3 points on the day, and no assists for him either. So Emerson definitely cutting off the passing lanes that Dubrow is so used to having. McLean setting it up for the Lions. Over to O'Connor. Fabrizio sets a screen. O'Connor over to the right side, back to Waterhouse. Waterhouse on the floor, out to O'Connor. Could have had a 3, but the pass was just off the mark, but he'll take it anyways. Just short. Fabrizio getting up again, but Wheaton will ultimately come down with the rebound.
Fabrizio lucky not to get called for over the back on that one. He kind of went through Williams.
Down low going to work, and a nice bucket there from Noah Sokachevsky. His first bucket of the day.
Wheaton trying to close this gap before halftime. And an offensive foul called on Jack O'Connor, driving through the lane, dissed it to Steven Fabrizio, but ran through Williams, I believe, underneath.
And O'Connor seemed a little confused there. Seemed like he thought Williams was in that restricted area. Referee's now talking about it. Looks like the ref under the hoop may have called a block. But now they will overturn the call it an offensive foul. So tough call there against the Lions, and that is O'Connor's second, so he'll head to the bench, likely to just keep him at 2 heading into halftime. That was a heck of a play from O'Connor, too, to find Fabrizio there under the bucket, but instead it will go the other way.
A beautiful play, but smart by Williams to just take that charge. There was nowhere else for O'Connor to go but right through Williams.
Down low to Williams now going to work. Over to the left side. No good. Gets his own rebound, and a foul called on Fabrizio. Fabrizio in poor position there on that second chance. Had no choice but to foul.
It was tough for Fabrizio. It looked like he got a hand on that first shot, but trying to rebound that, nobody else helping him. Davis, Waterhouse got to get in there and help him because that is a mismatch underneath with Aaron Williams.
And it seems like that is where Williams should be. 2 3-point attempts earlier in the game, but look at that frame underneath the basket. That's where he belongs, fighting for second chances. Gets to the line. And if he can hit free throws like we're seeing there, that makes for a real dangerous package. Lowy will now check back into the game for the Wheaton Lions for Sokachevsky. And Markenly Lima will join him. Emerson for these last 2 minutes has McLean, Beckwith, Waterhouse, Fabrizio, and Holding out there. So now 2 big guys. Not something we've seen too much from the Lions here today, but Holding and Fabrizio both out there.
And Fabrizio needs help underneath. He's not going to be able to get it done on Williams alone. He's not going to be able to play that tough defense and box him out.
Well, Fabrizio has played long minutes in this first half too, which, as we mentioned, hasn't really been the case for a lot of this season. So you got to think he's getting a little tired out there. As Beckwith over to the left, back to Holding. Holding strong to the bucket and gets it to go. Coach Curley will call a timeout right after that, as Holding gets his 3rd and 4th points of the game, puts Emerson up by 7 with just under 2 minutes to go in this first half.
That play is the difference between Holding and Fabrizio. Holding, a strong player underneath, and you're going to see this here, using his body, going right into the defender and going up for an easy layup.
And Lowy, no fouls on the day either. I was thinking the way he played that, maybe just letting Holding go, not trying to pick up another foul, get into foul trouble, but that's just Holding's strength going all the way to the hoop and pushing Lowy out of the way to get a big bucket.
It'll be interesting to see who marks up on who, whether they put Holding on Williams or they give him to Fabrizio.
Well, we've seen Fabrizio, just the play that always comes to mind for me with him is that block against the backboard. And on that, you see him come over. It wasn't him manned up on that player. So I think if you put Holding on Williams, that might be the better matchup. Have Fabrizio kind of be a roamer in the middle and get around to help down low on whoever.
Looks like they may be even switching to a zone here. As McLean gets called on a foul. Pesky, Trevor McLean.
Yeah, and you see Emerson playing that pesky defense all day long, but now some of those foul calls are coming back to bite them. That's the second one on McLean, as plenty of players now have at least a couple of fouls, and McLean unhappy with the call. And it is a tough break for the Emerson Lions. Dubrow misses his first free throw of the day.
This could be a different game if Wheaton were really hitting these free throws. Down by 7, and they've missed 7 of them, as they now close that to a 6-point gap.
And McLean bringing it the other way, calling out the play. Over to Beckwith. Beckwith to Waterhouse. Now over to Holding. Ends up with Beckwith. Beckwith to his right. Pulling up. Shot is off the mark. Wheaton with the rebound. That's Williams. Williams to Dubrow. Williams now setting a screen for Dubrow. And a foul called there, likely on the screen. Or no, they will call that on Dubrow as he was fighting for space.
Calling on a push-off on Dubrow. He's a bit confused on that call.
Perhaps rightfully so, Nick. A little bit of contact on both sides, it looked like, but that one will go against Dubrow as McLean bringing it the other way now. Waterhouse with it, a little space from 3. No rotation on that ball. It's short, but kicked out by Holding. Back with Waterhouse, out to Beckwith, and Emerson will reset.
I think Ripley might have got a hand on that one.
McLean to the hoop, and you could hear the slap from here. McLean will go to the line for 2. Good to see him getting aggressive here at the end of this first half.
Yeah, it's been very, very quiet from Trevor McLean. 1 of 2 from the floor. He's got 3 points, but you really want to see him attack that basket because he has that passer ability to dish it and find open looks for other players.
And when he's taking it aggressively to the hoop like that, the defense has to play him in a different way, Nick. So as you said, a great passer, but if he can get that aggressiveness going too, that'll open up the passing lanes even more. No good on the first free throw, though. As Carlisle checks back into the game now for Wheaton. And here you see that aggressiveness on display from McLean going all the way to the hoop, and Ripley swiping right down, getting a lot of that left arm. McLean's second one is good. And he'll pick up Dubrow right away. This ball pressure from Emerson has been strong all game long. Emerson looks like they're in some kind of zone here. Wheaton breaks it well, but the pass just goes off Lowy's foot, and Holding comes down to force the jump ball. Here you see a good pass, but Lowy just can't handle it, and Holding is there. It will remain Wheaton possession, though. 16 on the shot clock. Up top to Carlisle. Carlisle to Lima. Lima thought about it, and then back to Dubrow. He thought about a deep 3 as well, as this zone is forcing another deep 3 from Lima. Emerson loves that, as Beckwith will push it the other way. All the way to the cup. High arcing, no good. Holding fighting for the rebound, ends up with Dubrow. 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, and they will slow it down, likely look for the last shot of the first half here. Looks like an extended 2-3 zone here maybe from the Lions, Nick?
I think they trust Holding and Fabrizio on the inside to play some strong defense, especially with that change putting Williams to the bench.
Now Dubrow looking to get it to Lowy. A nice pass down low, but he puts it down low, and then Emerson's all there, forcing the jump ball. They'll get it back with 4.7 ticks to go.
Holding forced to jump ball on 2 straight possessions, and Jack O'Connor's going to check into this game now to put another scorer on the floor.
Coming in at number 4, Jack O'Connor replaces.
In 4.7 seconds, Nick. I mean, plenty of time to get at least a decent shot up there for this final possession. They'll get it to O'Connor. He'll just take it up himself as time runs down. He gets basically all the way to the hoop, but the shot comes up short, and that'll do it for the first half. Nick, what do you take away from this first half on either side as Emerson leads 42-35?
It was a strong Emerson performance, but there's another gear in there. This 7-point lead is far from secure, and Wheaton can come back and make this a very interesting game in the second half.
Yeah, and Wheaton is shooting efficiently, except from the free throw line, really. They're 9 of 18 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3. That's not bad, but Nick, we talked about it earlier. The glaring difference is still turnovers. Wheaton with 11, and Emerson has scored 13 points off of those turnovers. And here we will see some of those highlights from the first half, holding strong to the hoop for 2 for the Emerson Lions. A lot of physicality from Emerson. Really been keeping them ahead in this one, 42-35. Emerson Lions ahead with 20 minutes to go. We'll see you after the break. Brown and Plofker Gym here at Emerson College for this matchup between the Emerson Lions and the Wheaton Lions. Emerson up 42-35 halfway through this one. I'm Joe Dubois, joined by Nick Gemma. Nick, what would you say is the story of this first half?
Well, on that Emerson side, it was the big defensive prowess. Jack O'Connor and Steven Fabrizio with some huge plays, and to keep Wheaton to 35 points, which would have them at 70 at the end of this game, is huge. On a defense that has had some struggling points early on, they are definitely showing up today as you see O'Connor go flying through to get that block.
And it wasn't all defense, though, Nick. We saw some great offensive plays on either side as well. As from Emerson, we've really seen a great showing here from Zach Waterhouse and James Beckwith, but perhaps the best play of that first half offensively is right here from Jack O'Connor from way out there. Even he can't believe that one. And on the Wheaton side, we've seen some highlights, namely from Ricardo Ripley. He had one great drive to the hoop, slicing through the lane, going up with that left hand. A lot of great plays on either side. And Emerson up 7, but it's really anyone's game still with 20 minutes to go.
Absolutely, it's far from over, and we're going to have to see how this half plays out with Houston really back in the lineup and playing, hopefully, a full half.
Yeah, Houston, no points, no rebounds in that first half with that early foul trouble. So, like you said, definitely looking to make more of an impact here in this second half. Dubrow has it for Wheaton. McLean right there. Carlisle. Back up to Dubrow coming off of the screen. Now Lowy gets it down low. Too much room for him. That's too easy.
It's a good screen in the play beforehand. Freed up Lowy, and O'Connor wasn't able to get back to him.
And McLean gets it to O'Connor, defended by Lowy. Now looking for Houston, can't get it to him. They'll just move it around, looking for the right angle. And a foul called underneath against Sokashevsky.
Sokashevsky's going to have a really tough time defending Houston underneath. He's got the height at 6'4", but Houston with a lot of power, and at 6'10", a lot more inches.
Now McLean will inbound. Gets it to Houston. Houston faces up out to Martin. Martin to O'Connor. Now to Waterhouse, getting it to Houston underneath. Plenty of room to work with, going to his left, back over to the right over the top, and that's good. And there you see the inches on display.
Absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see how long it takes for Aaron Williams to get back into this game, because that's really the only body that can match up with Houston right now.
Strong defense from McLean. Ripley with it now, going to his left. Ends up with Carlisle. Back to Dubrow. Good fake, gets him spaced along the baseline. Out top to Lowy, and Sokashevsky from deep. It's short, and a strong box out from Martin. He'll get the rebound.
Emerson lucky to go away with a win on that possession, because that was some great work by Dubrow to find Lowy and eventually in that corner.
Foul underneath again against Sokashevsky, and you're seeing it. He just cannot guard Houston. Too much of a size advantage down low. 2 fouls against Sokashevsky and 2 points for Houston in the first minute and a half of this matchup in this half.
And Emerson's just going to keep attacking that.
O'Connor gets it too open. He's got to pull up, but that one is just short. Ripley with the board. Ripley to his right. Got a little bit of space. He'll kick it out. Dubrow puts on the floor, looking for Sokashevsky, tipped out of bounds. It will remain Wheaton possession. Here you see Dubrow going to the hoop.
Looking for a man, and throws it right off the leg of Houston.
And Dubrow inbounding. Into Ripley over on the left side. He'll pull it out up to Carlisle. Lowy to Dubrow. Dubrow pulls it out. Shot clock now running down at 7. Dubrow to his left. Back over to the right. Gets a little room. Shot is no good. Houston with the big rebound. Now Waterhouse running the floor. Gets to McLean in the corner. McLean looking to skip it to O'Connor, but couldn't get it to him. Waterhouse with it instead. And a good pick and roll. Houston goes up and one. And there it is, the flex. And how fitting of a celebration for that bucket.
Absolutely. It's pure power from Houston. And we're going to see Williams check back into this game because they need something to make a difference. Sokashevsky just gets run through, gets a foul called as he gets overpowered, and Houston goes to the line for the and one.
And he's just smiling as he comes over to the bench. He knows that it's tough to defend a guy like Houston. And that is Sokashevsky's 4th foul now, as he picked up 3 early on in the second half. So it'll be interesting to see how his minutes are used throughout the rest of this game, as Houston no good on the free throw. Still Emerson up by 9.
Williams with 2 fouls already as well, so he will have to stay out of foul trouble with almost 18 minutes left in this one still.
Dubrow over to the right side, telling Lowy to cut through, gets it to Carlisle. Carlisle with the pull-up. It's good. Big bucket for Wheaton there.
Carlisle's quietly put together a very good game.
And then Houston throws it away on the inbound. Wheaton with a little spark of life here. We'll see if they can get another basket here to make it even closer. McLean's right there on Dubrow. Over to Carlisle. And a foul called on McLean there, as this matchup is getting more and more feisty as the game goes on.
It's getting antsy. 2 small and athletic point guards and 2 players who really know how to get in there, get those steals, and play a little pesky. See if this turns into anything as the game progresses.
Dubrow to Williams. He thinks about the 3, but he'll put it on the floor. Now pulling it back out. O'Connor tips the pass, ends up with Ripley. Ripley to Carlisle. Carlisle to Dubrow. Dubrow to Lowy for 3. And a travel will be called on the catch.
He bounced. He caught that ball, he bounced, and then he took that shot. Got to compose himself.
That's one of those you get away with in practice, Nick, but they will call that in a game anytime. Now McLean to O'Connor. O'Connor gets a screen from Houston. Kick out to Waterhouse. Waterhouse with the pull-up. Tough shot, no good. Houston gets the rebound. Houston over to the right side, and what a finish there! Houston is showing what he's capable of, and Wheaton has seen enough. They will call a timeout.
That's his 3rd bucket. 3 of 3 now from the floor. And Jared Houston showing he's not just height, he's not just power, but he's got a little bit of that fancy finesse, putting his team up by 9.
Yeah, we saw it all come together there. The power on the offensive rebound, then putting it on the floor on the other side. And here you see all of Houston in the second half. He's been the story fighting through there. He's just too big on that basket. Get his first one, the and one, and the flex for point number 4. And here you see that last one again, getting the rebound. And seeing that room along the baseline, finishing on the opposite side, 48-39. Emerson ahead in this second half has been all about Jared Houston.
Curley probably trying to shore up his defense, because while Houston has been on fire, this Wheaton team is not going away. A 9-point lead is far from over here in Boston, Massachusetts.
Absolutely, as you see the Emerson cheer squad cheering on this performance here today.
We have got some full bleachers for this basketball game. You don't always see it, especially before we got to break at the end of that fall semester. But the Bobby Brown and Stephen Plofker gym is packed, and these Emerson fans are ready to cheer this squad on.
And Houston still out there as he looks to continue this run of dominance. Dubrow bringing it up for Wheaton. McLean's right there. Dubrow kicks it across, pass is tipped, and it'll go right over our heads over here, Nick. Now Ripley will inbound for Wheaton.
It's nice to get into the game a little bit every once in a while.
Absolutely. Down to Williams. Williams finds Carlisle on the cut. Ripley over to Dubrow. Dubrow to Lowy in the corner, puts it on the floor to the rack, and looks like he stepped out on the drive there.
More and more turnovers for Wheaton. That's their 13th already. Emerson with just 6. And that's been the difference. Wheaton 22 shots, Emerson with 34.
O'Connor pulling up from the elbow. It's just short. Dubrow's got Williams going the other way. McLean's ahead of the pack. He'll undercut it, gets called for the foul, but probably the right move there for McLean. Unfortunately, though, that is his 4th foul. So a bit of a complicated decision there for McLean.
Yeah, he tried to go under, tried to not touch him, but just be a little bit of a nuisance, because there was no way he was stopping Williams. But he picks up his fourth, and he'll have to go to the bench.
I would have loved to see McLean try to take a charge there from Williams, though, Nick.
Yeah, I don't think he could get to the spot in time, but that would have been some sacrifice by the purest definition of the word.
Definitely would have been one heck of a sacrifice. And there you see it. Yeah, definitely trying to avoid the foul by any means necessary, but gets slapped with the call anyways. And now Beckwith will check in for McLean as he heads to the bench with 4, with 16-10 to go in this one. Wheaton cuts the lead to 7 as O'Connor will now bring it up for Emerson. O'Connor to Houston. He's got room all the way to the cup, and he'll finish. You can't give him an inch, Nick.
No, Williams tried to get fancy, tried to get pesky and take that one away, but Houston, some power, some speed, and some smart basketball as Dubrow with a beautiful basket going the other way.
That was a heck of a shot there from Dubrow, just scooping it right over the outstretched arms of O'Connor as this one keeps going back and forth. O'Connor over to Martin. Martin looking for Houston down low. He'll take it himself. Now he gets it to him. He'll go to work as Carlisle helps down. Martin cuts to the basket, gets blocked by Lowy. Good help there from Lowy.
Good help defense. Martin's having a tough game.
Carlisle in the corner from deep. And that one does not go down. Emerson catches a break as their lead stays at 7. Now Beckwith pushing it down to Houston, and there he is again.
Oh, big man runs the floor. Fast break bucket for number 23.
And we are seeing what Houston is fully capable of. In 5 minutes, he has 10 points. Now Dubrow to the cup again as he gets more and more aggressive. No roll on that one. Houston rebound. Waterhouse pushing it now. Gets by Williams. And think about pulling it. Instead, kick it over to Beckwith. Pulling it from deep. No good. Houston can't reel in the rebound. Now Carlisle going the other way to Lowy as this one is speeding up. Williams to the hoop. O'Connor forced to foul there.
And Curley angry, thought there was an over the back down the other end as Houston was trying to pick that ball up. Turned into a big fast break for the Wheaton Lions.
And that is now the 3rd foul on Jack O'Connor, so an interesting decision with him as well. Ben Allen and Ben Holding checking into the game for the Lions. We'll see who they grab after this first free throw from Williams.
And this is where Wheaton can really get themselves back into this game with O'Connor on the bench and Nate Martin checking out as well. It is a younger and an inexperienced side for Emerson right now that will likely be led by Waterhouse and Houston.
Yeah, in terms of the scoring side, those are the 2 guys I was going to indicate as well, Nick. So we will see who steps up as Williams goes 1 for 2, and he'll earn himself a break as Patrick Ode checks back in. Williams 5 of 6 from the line today, where he's been doing most of his damage offensively. Now Ben Allen running the offense for the Lions. Over to Beckwith. Beckwith now getting a screen from Houston. Houston rolling to the cup. Beckwith kicks it out to Waterhouse. Waterhouse to Allen. A little congested down low, but they'll get it to Houston anyways. Carlisle over to help, and a foul will be called right away.
Over the top. And Curley still chewing out that referee. Head coach Bill Curley in his 4th season, obviously championing this team to a conference final last year, and he is chewing that out. Normally a nice guy unless you're wearing those black and white stripes.
Houston putting it on the floor, and another foul on Lowy. There's just no way to contain Houston.
Houston is causing problems this time as you see him in the post working and just drawing fouls time and time again.
And they'll just keep feeding him because why not? They'll swing it around. Beckwith with it now over to Allen. Houston posting up. You guessed it, they'll get it to him. Kick across to Beckwith. And Houston again over to Waterhouse from 3. It's short. Rebound to Ripley. And then a foul called immediately against Waterhouse.
Bit aggressive from the young man.
Foul number 10, Zach Waterhouse, his 2nd, team 4.
As you see him just trying to get in there, playing pesky, but got the whole body of Ricardo Ripley.
And trying to get the cheap steal, but instead a cheap foul. Beckwith picking up to Brad the length of the court now. Over to Ode now with Carlisle. Carlisle with a nice pass to find Ripley down low and a nice finish as he found a sliver of room, and the lead is cut to 6 as these Wheaton Lions just won't go away. Waterhouse to Houston. Houston to Beckwith. Way too much room for him from deep, and it's good.
A great find from Jared Houston. as Beckwith was all alone on the wing.
And Beckwith now the leading scorer for the Lions with 12. Lowy down low. Houston's there to defend him. Kick out to Dubrow. A nice scoop pass to Ridley to the cup. And shot is no good. That's Ripley, excuse me. And he'll get to the line 4-2.
Holding went right into him. And an easy call for the refs.
And that's the second on holding now. So a lot of Emerson players to almost keep an eye on. Time is, slowly dwindling away, but Emerson definitely in a lot of foul trouble as first free throw from Ripley is no good. Fabrizio and O'Connor into the game as Waterhouse and Houston earned well-deserved breaks.
Emerson with 20 fouls on the day and 14 for the Wheaton team, while they have 25 free throw attempts compared to Emerson's 10.
Second free throw is good for Ripley, and now into the game for him comes Evan Cook. And Wheaton's got to feel good about where they are right now, Nick, in this game. Winless in the league, but only 8 behind one of the top teams in the league in their house.
Absolutely, and head coach Walmsley trying to make these changes. He's going to bring Williams back in at the next stoppage as we have another big three from the freshman, James Beckwith, to make this a 2-digit lead.
And Beckwith is on fire. 15 on the day now for him. Carlisle can't answer. Emerson up 11. They're pushing, trying to extend it. Ben Allen has it. Over to the right side. Kick to Holding. Holding puts it on the floor, and he'll be called for a travel on the way.
He did. It didn't look like he was expecting that pass. I wanted it to go back to Beckwith personally. Give him a shot to just keep this fire rolling.
3 of 3 from deep. Likely climbing up the leaderboards in the NUMAC in three-point percentage, as you see it right there. He was already 4th coming into the game in terms of three-point percentage in the league. 3 of 3 can only help that.
And he is a weapon off the bench for this team.
Carlisle pushing it. Good look for Williams down low, but Holding gets in it at the last second, tips it away.
Beckwith off the bench, leading all scorers with 15. A fantastic performance from the freshman.
And Nick, there's no way you can replace Jeff Gray, and I'm not saying Beckwith has come close to doing that quite yet, but he's definitely played a large role in replacing some of that production that Gray left last year.
Absolutely. He is a pure scorer, and he has shown it so far today.
Allen pushing it for the Lions over to O'Connor. O'Connor to the left, looking for Holding. It's tipped, and it'll go off of Lowy's hands and out of bounds. Still Emerson ball.
Really good defense from Williams there, able to get back. Spent a lot of time trying to just get back and mark, and was able to get his hand in there in the last second.
Now O'Connor will inbound, get it to Fabrizio. Up top to Holding, over to Beckwith from deep again. Just short. And now a foul. Looks like this one will go against Wheaton on the rebound, and it'll stay Emerson possession. And I guess Beckwith can miss after all, Nick.
I know. Sometimes he's a little bit human, but mostly robotic.
In the best way.
Absolutely.
Now O'Connor will inbound. And sees nothing. He'll just throw it off of Lima there. Still Emerson ball with a full shot clock. O'Connor gets it into Fabrizio this time. O'Connor will post up down low against Lima. He's got a significant height advantage. But a foul will be called against O'Connor as he was fighting for position.
He dropped the shoulder and went right into him with that shoulder, and that is his 4th foul on the day.
And he's still out there. They'll send Waterhouse in to grab him as soon as possible, but he's got to be very careful on this possession. Emerson will switch to a zone, likely for that very reason. Lowy up top to Dubrow from 3, no good. Allen with the rebound. Pushing it the other way, over to O'Connor. He's got to be careful going to the lane. He'll be fouled on the way. And looks like he'll get 2 shots out of it, so he'll have to stay out there. Obviously, you love having Jack O'Connor out there, Nick, but when he's got 4 fouls, I think Coach Curler would feel a lot more comfortable if he was over there sitting next to him.
Absolutely. And you're going to see Houston check in, too, to try and replace that scoring that's going to leave when O'Connor hits the bench.
But first, O'Connor will get 2 free throws. O'Connor's good on the first one. And actually, Wheaton already in the bonus, so this is a 1-and-1 opportunity for O'Connor, as it will be the rest of the way with 11:56 to go in the game. And Emerson's right behind him, 16 fouls of their own. So, Nick, we will be seeing a lot of free throws as this game goes on. And O'Connor's no good on the second, so he will stay out there. And Emerson now manned up, so they will get it to Cook, and he'll switch off right away. And they're just looking to get whoever O'Connor is guarding. And he's just forced to just let him go by. Now Cook has it from deep. It's good. And it's tough to play defense when you're basically playing 5-on-4, as Emerson was there, Nick.
Absolutely. O'Connor's just trying to run around. He can't really touch anyone. He's going to get a corner three here and hit it. He doesn't care that he's still on the floor. He's going to do everything he can. A big corner three with two guys on him.
Hey, he can't play defense with 4 fouls, but he can sure still play offense as Houston goes up for the rebound. But there's Lima coming out of the pack with it. 3 big guys, and Lima was the one that came down with it, but he will be called for a foul. And Wheaton is very unhappy with that call.
Yeah, Lima absolutely excited. He's going to take a look here at head coach Brian Walmsley in his 23rd season. Unhappy with those refs. Dubrow and Lima talking too.
That is a very tough call for Wheaton. That is a huge momentum play, as we've seen Lima come up with a few of those in the past few minutes. A lot of energy from him, and that was pretty much the epitome of it there, but instead called with a foul. Houston at the line with the 1-and-1. The silver lining out of that for Emerson is they get O'Connor out of the game, and Coach Curley can feel a lot more comfortable about that situation now, as there you see Coach Walmsley simply in disbelief at that last call.
It has been a very chippy game, and both coaches with a lot of complaints on the officiating today.
Cook with a tight handle, bringing it up. Gets it to Williams. Holding on him. Williams taking his time, just backing down. Holding gets a hand in. Jump ball called. Scrappy play from Holding there.
Yeah, great work from the big man underneath, the senior, 6'5" out of South Dartmouth. As you see him just try and get a pesky hand in there, as he knows he has Houston on the inside.
And there's not too many times that Holding is at a size disadvantage, but this matchup with Williams is one of those few times. But Holding getting in there, getting the hand in, forcing the jump ball. Holding looking down low for Beckwith. Beckwith posting up on Dubrow. The fadeaway, no good, but he's fouled. He gets to the line for 2. Only the second foul on Dubrow, one of the few key players in this game who has nothing to worry about in that department, really.
Tough shooting night for Dubrow. 1 of 6, 0 of 3 from deep, but he's and only 1 assist as Emerson's trying to keep the ball out of his hands.
Yep, the ball pressure all the way up the court whenever Dubrow's bringing up has really been the difference. Beckwith good on the first free throw. James Beckwith, the 6'4" freshman out of Menlo Atherton High School. He's been a difference maker today. 16 points, and there's 17 as he's perfect from the line. Now Lima will bring it up for the Wheaton Lions. And Wheaton will call a timeout here as Emerson is slowly but surely pulling away up 14, but we've seen this before in this game, and every time it seems like it's going Emerson's way, the Wheaton Lions will turn it right back around.
Yeah, they're going to look to make a run, and with Dubrow on the bench, it'll be interesting to see who that ball goes to. If they can open up Williams in the post and get him to score. Averaging 16 points a game, he's got only 7 on 1 of 6 shooting. And you take another look at these Beckwith threes. The freshman off the bench making a huge impact.
And this has not been the conventional Emerson game per se, Nick. They've pretty much got a established 3-headed monster at this point in terms of scoring in O'Connor, Waterhouse, and Martin. O'Connor and Waterhouse each doing okay with 11 apiece, and Nate Martin only with 2. But really the difference in terms of scoring has been James Beckwith, 17 points on the day from him. And I think it's good to see these star players kind of letting Beckwith have his shine, letting him get the opportunities today, because he is leading them in scoring, and it's got them up 14.
Absolutely. Those preseason games, everyone on the roster got to see what Beckwith can do, and they trust him. They trust him in the same sense that they trust Jack O'Connor with an open wing shot. They trust Beckwith to hit it as well. And with guys like Houston on the inside and the work that Ben Holding and Steven Fabrizio have done, they're opening up that floor to give those opportunities to the other players and to those pure scorers.
But a big story now in this second half is the foul trouble for Emerson, O'Connor, and McLean, each with 4. On the Wheaton side, Sokashevsky's got 4 himself, Lima and Lowy with 3 apiece. So fouls definitely playing a large role over these last 10 and a half minutes. Cook gets it in the corner, gets a screen from Williams, going over, and a good steal by Beckwith. Beckwith to Waterhouse ahead of the pack. Cook's back there with him. Waterhouse will finish through the contact and one. Get to the line with a chance to make it a 17-point game.
Not what Walmsley wanted coming out of that timeout. First thing they do is give it away on a steal, and a great assist as Waterhouse goes right to the bucket and through Evan Cook.
And that's how you do it. He kept the ball up high the whole way to the hoop and put it in through the contact. Waterhouse no good on the free throw. Looks like a violation called against Emerson anyways. So now Lowy will inbound as Emerson now pretty much in a full court press, a 2-2-1. Beckwith forcing Carlisle towards the middle, breaks it pretty easily, and then he's called for a reach. So now a 1-and-1 opportunity for Carlisle, as it will be the rest of the way. 2 free throws for Emerson the rest of the way, 1-and-1 for Wheaton, at least for the next few.
And one of the worst things Emerson can do right now is slow this game down and start fouling, because that's going to stop that clock, and that's going to allow Wheaton to just very slowly put themselves back into contention. You got to play smart. If they hit their shots, they hit their shots, but you've got enough of a lead where you can allow that to happen.
And they've been solid enough from the line today as they move on to 19 of 28 after that one. You definitely don't want to keep sending them there. Second one is good as well from Carlisle. Back to a 14-point game as Lima applies the full court pressure to Allen. Allen finds Houston. Waterhouse looking to post up, can't get it to him. Houston over to Beckwith. Beckwith to the left side, deep 2, pull up is good.
He's hot and you got to feed him. He's got the hot hand, and Houston knew it on that play.
Carlisle defended by Allen. Allen will tip it away, but he's called for the foul, and Carlisle back to the line for another 1-and-1.
Curley just asked him, why are you doing that? You just take a second, sit back, let him attack you, and just try and make them make tough shots if they're going to get back into this one.
Carlisle 4 of 4 from the line. He's got 11 points total. Here you see that Beckwith pull-up once again. He's got Cook right in his face, but it doesn't even matter. 19 now on the day for Beckwith. 2 rebounds and 4 assists as well. Now Max Davis checks into the game for the Lions for Ben Allen. First free throw is good. The second one on the way as well. A little bit of confusion there, but it's all sorted out.
Carlisle has quietly had a very nice game. 3 of 5 from the floor, 5 of 5 from the line. Leads his team with 12 points. And you can up that total to 13 now.
Beckwith bringing it up. Gets a screen from Houston in the backcourt. Gets him some space all the way to the cup through Lowy. Shot's no good. Houston with the follow. No good. Ball's on the floor, and so is a Houston and Lowy. Jump ball is ultimately the call.
And Emerson's going to keep it on some hustle play from the big man. Got his own rebound and kind of fell on top of it.
And now a couple of subs will come in for Wheaton, one of which is Sokashevsky, playing with 4 fouls with just under 10 to go, so he'll have to be careful out there if the Wheaton Lions want him for this home stretch. Dubrow checking in as well. He's been the leader for this team all season long. He'll look to lead them here as they come back to try to get their first NEWMAC win. Carlisle inbounding into Lima. Now back to Dubrow.
Beckwith's got his hands behind his back. He doesn't want to give that up.
Dubrow with some space all the way to the cup, and he finishes.
Up and under, fancy from the senior. And that's the shot you're okay with. You're gonna have to make them make those shots, and if they prove they can make them and get back into this game, you change your game plan.
And this is what Emerson wants. Houston on Sokashevsky with his 4 fouls over to the right side. Oh, and no good, but if he's going to get shots like that every time, as he might get another one here as Emerson gets the ball back, then Wheaton will be in trouble.
And Jack O'Connor with 4 fouls back into this one as well.
Both teams playing with fire, Nick.
Absolutely, and O'Connor, the senior, he's a smart enough player, and Coach Curley trusts him not to get himself kicked out of this game.
And you saw them hiding him defensively by putting that zone on earlier. We'll see if they go back to that when they're on defense, but definitely a smart move if they want to keep O'Connor out there. There's Davis from deep. Oh. And it's good. He gets on the board with a big basket for his first basket of the game.
And that's the big problem with this Emerson team. They're so hard to defend because everybody can score.
Good vision there from Dubrow to find Lowy under the hoop, and he gets 2 to answer right away. But Emerson will take trading baskets the rest of the way, Nick, if that's the way this goes. Waterhouse with it, down low to Houston. Houston's just too easy, going to the right, and he'll finish again.
Sokoshevsky can't foul, and he can't stay in the way of Houston, so it's just going to be easy baskets, and that's why Williams is going to come back into this one.
Right away you saw Walmsley go to the bench and send Williams back out there. There's nothing Sokoshevsky can do unless he wants to get out of this game. Carlisle will come right back in bounds and get the rebound and finish for 2. And Nick, we just keep saying it, but Wheaton will not go away.
They will not. They're a pesky team, and despite their record, they are a very talented team. Players like Carlisle, Ripley, Lima, Dubrow, and Robbie Lowy, just talented players, as you see some beautiful finishes. That one coming from Dubrow. Max Davis hitting a big 3.
And Davis, the freshman, no points up until that point, and a tight enough game. And there you see, he's excited after that 3. Emerson up 73-60 with 8:17 to go. And we'll see who they send back out there. O'Connor playing with 4 fouls, Nick. If they lose him, how worried are you if you're Coach Curley?
I don't think the panic starts to set in because it's all about defense right now, and if you can keep Wheaton from putting up 13 more points the next 8 minutes, you don't even have to worry about that scoring. But if you see O'Connor go to the bench, you're going to have to supplement it with guys like Fabrizio and those big guys, especially with the combination of Lowy and Williams on the floor.
It seems like guys have been stepping up left and right all game long for the Lions, and if O'Connor was to go out with that 4th foul, you'd hope that that continues. But hopefully he just keeps playing with 4 fouls. That'd be the best case scenario. Davis running it for the Lions. Gets it to O'Connor, gets a screen from Houston. O'Connor with the hezzy step back, that's a deep 2, it's just short. Davis gets the rebound over to Waterhouse. Waterhouse to Beckwith, over to Davis from the opposite corner. That one's no good. Oh! Oh my goodness! Waterhouse out of nowhere!
An uncharacteristically quiet game from Zach Waterhouse, but that was absolutely the opposite. Some authority from the man.
Quiet game, but a loud play there, and Houston off the glass. This might be the run Emerson needs to officially put this away, as then Williams fouls in the backcourt. A tip slam from Waterhouse and a pin against the glass from Houston. What a run by these Emerson Lions.
Athleticism. Waterhouse, not the tallest player, just 6'2", but he got up on that one.
I'm still in awe, Nick, frankly.
The gym still hasn't quieted down.
O'Connor at the line. Hopefully they'll quiet down so you can get some clarity here for these free throws. First one is good.
We're going to have to take another look at that one. You see him just move around Carlisle and get up. One hand throwing it down.
And that's what you dream of, just no box out. He's right in perfect position, and the ball just happens to come off the rim right in the perfect spot for him to cock that back and put it through. What a play by Waterhouse. Williams with it. Put it on the floor to the cup to Lowy. Lowy on the left side, he gets it to go. Lowy's been fighting hard all day. He's got 16 points now. Waterhouse with it for Emerson. Some space over to the right side, and he'll get fouled on the way. And you can tell that play put a little extra hop in his step, Nick.
Absolutely, and you don't want to play with fire if the fire's name is Zach Waterhouse.
You see that strong defensive play from Houston following that Waterhouse tip slam, getting that out of here. And Williams is a strong finisher, but when you're going up against Houston, no one's really a strong finisher, it seems.
Absolutely.
Waterhouse good on the first free throw. Here's Waterhouse with the second shot. That one's just short. Williams with the rebound. They'll get it to Dubrow. Dubrow defended by Beckwith with 7 to go. Emerson up by 16. Robbie Lowy with it to Lima. Houston flies right out, gets back. Now Williams going to work on Houston. Over to the left, tipped away by Davis. It will remain Wheaton possession, but great collapse by the Emerson defense there to make it tough on Williams.
Absolutely, and these role players, these fringe guys really showing up. Davis, some great work off the bench. Fabrizio early on. We saw a nice play off the inbound. Finding some space was Markenly Lima.
And Lima's just making those clutch plays time and time again to keep Wheaton close as O'Connor from way out there gets it to go.
Tees it up.
O'Connor up to 16 points on the day, 6 of which have come off of just ridiculously deep threes like we saw right there.
He knows he can do it, and he will not shy away, but responding here, Robbie Lowy.
Lowy will not go away, 19 for him. And now Lowy will guard O'Connor on the other end. We'll see if this one-on-one battle continues. They get it to Houston down low. Houston to Beckwith. Beckwith jab step. Now stolen by Lima. Lima ahead of the pack, but O'Connor's back, but he's got 4. Lima can't finish. Williams on the follow. He can't get it to go. And a foul will be called on Williams' second opportunity. He'll get to the line for 2.
Believe that one's going to go on Waterhouse. Better to just earn him from the line, as Williams was going to put that up with some enthusiasm if he had the chance.
And you got Davis and Waterhouse on Williams. Tough for both of them, even though it's 2 of them, to contain Williams.
Absolutely.
He's just so strong down low.
But 1 of 7 from the floor is a great sign for Emerson.
McLean and Martin back into the game, so the starting 5 on the floor for the Lions with just under 6 to go as they look to extend this lead and put it away before the very final moments. Williams' second free throw. Good.
This may be the first time the starting 5 has been on the floor since Houston checked out earlier.
13-point game. McLean running the show. Houston gets it. All the way to the cup. He gets it to go and 1. And you saw McLean going up the floor. You saw him call the play. It was a flex. That's what it was called. They get it to McLean, scores it, and what does he do after it? How fitting. He flexes.
Big flex from Houston. And that's the difference. Williams can body him up, but then Houston's just got that speed advantage. And then on the inside, Dubrow never going to be able to do anything about that.
Houston converts on the and 1 as you see it again there. Just too easy for the big man. Carlisle defended by Martin now. Takes it in, gets some room. Shot is short. Rebound to O'Connor. O'Connor to Waterhouse. Waterhouse in the middle of the floor. Gets it to Martin. Martin from 3. Just short. Almost got it to go on the second bounce. Then a foul called against Houston, it looked like, on the rebound.
That one is his 3rd. So Houston still doing all right, but maybe a little bit more worry now.
That's a tough foul. Seemed like it was away from where the rebound ultimately even went, but it will call Houston for the foul regardless. Lowy at the line for 2. He's 5 of 10 on the day, looking to get a bit more consistency here. First one's good. Now into the game is Patrick Ode for Aaron Williams. Williams been playing a lot of minutes here in the second half. Lowy 2 for 2 there. Now Houston will inbound into McLean. McLean to Martin. Martin, nice jab step, gets some space over to the left side. He'll be fouled. Looked like he passed at the last second, but it won't matter either way. He'll get 2 at the line.
Foul number 15, Alex Carlisle, his second. Nate Martin shooting 2.
Martin, as we mentioned earlier, not his best statistical game, only 2 points on the day, both coming from the line. He'll add to it there as he moves to 3 of 3. But here you see he's just staying aggressive out there, getting to the line, getting that space, and then he'll convert on the second free throw as well. 2 of 2. He's up to 4 on the day. Strong defense on the other end now on Carlisle. Houston will pop out. Maybe a bit too hard of a hedge. They get room. Ode cut to the basket. Shot's no good, but he'll be fouled, and he'll get 2 free throws.
Good defense by Houston and a good switch to that double, but a great reaction from Wheaton, and they get themselves to the line.
Yeah, you could tell they realized right away that Houston was way out there. Good ball movement. Ode gets to the basket. 2 free throws as a result. First one's good, as Ode gets onto the board for the first time in this one. Waterhouse just got a little bit too much of him there on the way, as you can tell, and that's Waterhouse's 4th foul now as well. So Wheaton's got to be thinking, if they stay close in this one, Nick, get another one on McLean, another one on O'Connor, another one on Waterhouse, all 3 of those guys are out of this game. Those are 3 key players. So Wheaton sticks around, few more fouls on some of these key players. It could get a lot more interesting.
And we'll see if Curley changes the defensive shape because of that.
Waterhouse has it back to O'Connor. Looks like Wheaton's in a zone of their own now. O'Connor from way out there again, and it's good.
3 for 3. He's got no range because the whole floor is range. He will pull it up from anywhere, and he has shown that he has earned that right.
Carlisle gets it to Ode in the corner. It looks like it is some kind of zone for the Lions. Probably a 2-3. Dubrow no good from deep. Houston crashes down for the rebound, gets it to O'Connor. As time slowly ticks away and this Emerson lead expands. McLean to O'Connor. O'Connor down to Houston. Risky pass. And a jump ball will be the call. It will stay with the Lions.
Nice little hustle play from Patrick Ode, if nothing else, to get that arrow pointing his way. So you see him just staying in there, running around Houston because the big body was keeping him out of the way.
Yeah, Houston making him go in circles there, but Ode stuck with it. Still Emerson possession, though. 8 on the shot clock. O'Connor thought about another one. He'll put it on the floor. Down low to Waterhouse. What a pass. Shot doesn't go, but Waterhouse will get 2 at the line. Just see the chemistry there on full display. O'Connor leaving his feet, just fully trusting that someone will find some room underneath the basket, and it turned out to be Waterhouse.
Dropped it right into the hands of number 10, Zach Waterhouse.
And James Beckwith checking in. We'll see who he grabs in between free throws. But Emerson has that starting 5 out there, but Beckwith with a heck of a game, so you got to understand why they're sending him back out there. Waterhouse good on the first. And Beckwith has the shooters. There you see that wonderful pass from O'Connor to find Waterhouse, and you can just tell he wanted that one to go to get that and one. But Waterhouse has had enough highlights today, Nick.
He always does.
He's got to share with everyone else a little bit here. Ripley to the cup, and another strong finish from him. He's had a few of those now. O'Connor slowing it down for the Lions. They know that time is on their side here. O'Connor to Houston. And he'll cut back at it again. Another screen from Houston. All the way to the cup. A little off balance. Tough shot. Misses it. Houston fighting for the rebound. But Wheaton will come up with it. Good defense. Just killing the clock here from the Lions. Now Carlisle has it. He'll drive by McLean. Good pass to Ripley. And tipped away. It will remain Wheaton ball, though. And that was a risky play there, Nick. I believe McLean was the one who got a hand in there, but he's got 4 fouls. Emerson gets away with one.
I think the whole roster trusts the depth on this team right now, especially with 3 minutes to go. It is a deep team, and that is something that they rely on, and head coach Curley showed us that early on, and will show it to us again with some big subs here.
Oh, and Trevor McLean limping around now. Not sure exactly what happened, but he looks like he's in pain.
With a 17-point lead, we'll see if he stays in this one. Winsing seems to be holding that leg, stretching out that quad.
Yeah, he's staying in there trying to fight through the pain. Coach Curley doesn't look like he has any plans of getting him out of there, so he's got to hope McLean doesn't worsen whatever just happened to him over these last few minutes, but if he can play through it, then by all means keep him out there. Jalen Ogado into the game for the Emerson Lions for the first time tonight. Now O'Connor with it. O'Connor going to work on Lowy. Steps back, kicks it over to Beckwith. Back to O'Connor. Out to McLean from deep. It's no good. Nate Martin skies for the rebound. Back out to O'Connor. He'll think about it, but instead makes the wise decision to just kill some more clock. Now, Beckwith from deep, it's no good. Wheaton starting the trap just to try to force Emerson to hurry up a little. Carlisle loses it, ends up with Cook. Now Ode has it, thinks about it, puts it on the floor. Foul called. Ode will get to the line for 2.
Emerson foul number 5, Nate Martin, his third.
We'll see how the Lions close out this one. They're keeping a mainly starter lineup, Ogato and Beckwith in as well, replacing Houston and Waterhouse, who have earned their breaks as they stick with this defensive lineup.
And the lead stays at 15 as here you see another deep 3 from Jack O'Connor. And he's really been a difference maker. Tied for the leading scorer for the Lions today. 19.6 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 of 5 from three-point land. And there you see the other leading scorer, James Beckwith, 19 of his own. O'Connor will inbound here to Beckwith, back to O'Connor. Good pass fake, and then Lima fouls him. O'Connor will get to the line. And that is Lima's 5th. So Nick, in a game defined by fouls, remarkably, that is the first guy to actually foul out of this game.
Yeah, it was smart and good defensive work. We saw the floor open up a bit because of those fouls here, getting into the later part of the second half. But now Lima is going to have to sit out the rest of this one.
In Lima, the stat sheet just does not tell the whole story with him. Only 4 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists. But Nick, time and time again, we saw hustle plays down there, keeping Wheaton in this one.
Absolutely, and he's a guy you love to have on your roster who can get it in scrap, especially with those taller players when he stands just 5'11", out of Roslindall, Massachusetts.
Now O'Connor will be at the line shooting 2 after that foul from Lima. 2:16 to go. Emerson seems to have this one wrapped up 90-76. O'Connor good from the line. 4 of 5 from the free throw line today as he gets his 20th point of the game. O'Connor good once again, and the ball will stay in the net there, so Wheaton will go up and tip that one away. Now Carlisle bringing it up. Gets a screen from Lowy. Looking for Lowy now from deep. Shot looks left, and it is no good. Out of bounds, Emerson possession.
The pick and pop worked, but the shot was off there from Lowy, who's had himself an interesting day. 6 of 7 from the floor, but 8 of 14 from the line. By far Wheaton's leading scorer with 22, and the overall game leading scorer with 22 as well.
Emerson breaks the press. Wheaton sending about 3 guys to whoever has the ball. McLean gets fouled. He'll get 2 free throws out of it. Good move, though, on the way there after the foul.
Yeah, a little fancy feet from McLean keeping himself in this one. He's had a frustrating game. Not much on the score sheet. He's got 3 assists, 4 points, 1 of 3 shooting.
It's been a real steadying force for this Emerson offense, though, Nick. Just distributing it to their scorers, and that's really what he's become known for. You know, not always similar to Lima, I guess, in a way where the stat sheet does not tell the whole story. McLean always a consistent performer for this Lions basketball team.
And some fantastic defensive work as well, keeping Dubrow to just 3 assists in this one.
2 of 8 shooting from Dubrow as well, 0 of 4 from deep. So yeah, great point there. McLean, strong defensive work all day long. 94-76, Emerson up. Carlisle kicks it over to Lowy, back to Evan Cook from 3. It's wide left. No good, out of bounds. Emerson ball. Checking in now for Emerson is the freshman Brian Lupianes, getting his first action of the game. And you see Wheaton emptying the bench as well. So I guess that will officially put a cap on this one, Nick, as they play out this last minute and a half. Emerson will be victorious, 94-76, the score right now.
Wheaton's going to keep that press up. They are not a team to give up, even when the score is as wide as it is. And these guys who just checked in really trying to show themselves.
Absolutely. O'Connor putting the moves on. A 3, man right in his face. He's fouled on the way up, and he'll get 3 free throws. Tough to guard O'Connor when you've been sitting on the bench for the past hour or so.
Absolutely. Nick. Some cold muscles there as he just tried to close out at the last second.
Three free throws coming up from O'Connor as he looks to add to his points total here tonight. And you see O'Connor just getting the separation And the closeout is just too late there from Wheaton. And as a result, O'Connor will get 3 free throws. 2 for 2 so far, as checking in is Jack Healy for Nate Martin. Three for 3 from the line for O'Connor, and he'll finally get to sit down. 24 points on the day for him, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and what a strong second half for him to help these Emerson Lions pull away.
A strong stat line for O'Connor, as it seems to be every single game.
Driving to the hoop there for Wheaton. Number 3, Zach Dagan. He'll get to the line for 2. Dagan, the sophomore from Merrimack, New Hampshire, getting his first action of the game here. Misses the first free throw. Save Nabolsi checking in now for the Lions as Trevor McLean heads to the bench. So on the floor now for the Lions, Ogado, Davis, Nabolsi, Healy, and Lupianez as they look to make a name for themselves. Nabolsi to Lupianez. He loses it. Wheaton comes up with it. He'll fight to get it back, though, but Wheaton has it now going the other way. Cook working on Nabolsi. Back out to Dagan. Now up top, a deep 3 from Wheaton, and that one's good. Ben Sylvia checking in, and the lefty hits it from way out there.
Freshman out of Barrington, Rhode Island, hitting a deep 3, trying to match O'Connor seemingly. And we're going to get a big steal from Cook here. He's going the other way. Lupianez on him, and an easy 2 in the lane.
Final score looks a little closer now after a nice little spurt from Wheaton here at the end, and Cook gets another steal, and he'll take another easy finish. Oh, he screws that one up, and Emerson gets the rebound. Lupianez will step out, though. And I mean, you can't really have a much more interesting final minute than we've had here, Nick.
Yeah, with a not so tight game comparatively to where it was at the end of the first half, but both teams still fighting, and Wheaton still trying to prove themselves a pesky team.
Oh, and I guess we're just going to rub it in on Cook there, watching that tough miss once again. But either way, Wheaton with the possession again, and they'll look to get another bucket out there before time expires. Fouled on the way is Joanathan Joseph, the sophomore.
That one going on Ogado. Safe Nabulski getting his hands in there. He's actually done some fantastic defensive work in the short time he's been on the court, just getting his hand in there. But Ogado pushing through him is going to send him to the line.
First free throw is good from Joseph. Second one, no good. Lupianez gets the rebound. Emerson will likely look to just get this one over half court. And that's what they'll do. Healy will catch it, and time will run out on this one. And what was a really quality win for Emerson. And Wheaton still winless in the NEWMAC, but Nick, we saw what they are capable of here today, keeping it interesting until those very final couple of minutes, but ultimately Emerson pulls away.
And big points. Wheaton had 45 free throw attempts. Emerson with 31. Fouls, really the story in this one. But some big performances from Jack O'Connor and James Beckwith. 24 and 19 apiece, with work underneath from Jared Houston as well. And the 22-point performance from Robbie Lowy. Just not quite enough for Wheaton to stick around in this one.
It was really just a game of whoever would step up at any time for Emerson. We saw runs from O'Connor, Beckwith, and Houston immediately come to mind. But that highlight of this game we'll be watching on a repeat, Nick. That tip slam from Waterhouse about halfway through this second half, and ultimately that's what swung it. Just momentum plays left and right for Emerson. They pull away, win this one over Wheaton, 97-83 for Nick Gemma. I'm Joe Dubois. We'll see you next time on Emerson Channel Sports.